Hello, good evening.
Hello everybody, good evening. We are here today for the live. Hi Tarun.
Hi, hello, good evening.
Hi. As you all must be knowing, Tarun is here. He's a TEDx doctor, he's a IRS officer, he's a high altitude trekker and whatnot. He's a multi-dimensional and multi-talented person. So Tarun, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So you're currently posted to Shillong, is it?
Yeah, I'm working in Shillong right now.
Okay. How's quarantine treating you?
Quarantine, you mean? Or
Yeah.
lockdown?
Lockdown and quarantine both. How's it at your
No,
place?
Shillong has only 46 cases overall, and there are some,
Okay.
I think, around 22 active cases. In the district where I live, there are only four active cases in East
Okay.
Khasi Hills. So it's not as serious as out there in Hyderabad or any other state, but yes, we need to be cautious and watchful.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see you now.
yeah.
So Tarun, let's start with, let us go through about your civil journey and how you've reached here right now in this place. Just run us briefly through your journey.
Okay. Um, I'll tell it in a very short time because I think
Yes.
let's focus more on traveling than civil services. So um, did my MPC, later BTech in biotechnology. Then I went to New Zealand, did my MBA. This was in 2010. I came back. I worked in four different companies in 18 months. I was not satisfied in any company. I mean, with the nature of the job I was doing. So I thought I'll do something different with my life. That's when, at the age of almost 25, I ventured into civil services. Everything went well. I Fortunately, I was into civils by the age of 27, and after that, yeah, now I landed into Indian Revenue Service. I am into taxation. We look
Mm-hmm.
after customs and GST.
Mm-hmm.
Presently, I'm posted as Deputy Commissioner for Customs at Shillong, Meghalaya.
Okay.
Yeah, this
So how
is
do you
my
like the
brief
place?
journey. It's
Nice.
wonderful. It's wonderful. I'll tell you, there is a reason I got posted here.
Mm-hmm.
I visited this place thrice before. I think first time in 2015 July, then in 2016 February, then in 2018 June. Three
Okay.
times I
Mm-hmm.
visited. Second time I came, I was here for 3 months as a part of our training. I had a central excess attachment here. That's
Mm-hmm.
when I thought, it really came to my mind that if this place is so beautiful just for a vacation, why shouldn't I get posted here? So, dreams really come true. I am very fortunate to be posted here. I'm absolutely liking it, enjoying the whole scenario, the place, the climate, the work, colleagues, the nature, waterfalls, whatnot, everything. Everything is absolutely amazing.
Great, great to hear that. It's almost like a dream to work in a place like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel I'm very fortunate to have been, given the opportunity to work here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, when did you start liking traveling and trekking in this process of getting through civil services?
I'll tell you because I come from a place called Warangal.
Mm-hmm.
So Warangal, there are no hills.
Right.
Uh, the name of the town where I come from is Hanam Konda. Konda means hill in Telugu. So only in the name there is Konda. Otherwise there is no hill. So as being a South Indian, I don't know ABCD of trekking. First of all, there are no hills, so there is no possibility for me to trek. So after I joined IRS as a part of foundation course. We were taken to Nilgiris for a 1 week
Okay.
trek. We were divided into batches, like 18, 19 people per group, and we were divided into 6 groups, all 100 of us. Then we were left in the jungle for 1 week, and that's when I really realized that it's so beautiful, the mountains, the nature, everything. I never really knew that I had the inclination or aptitude for this kind of things.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you, I mean, I went mad, looking at the mountains, the clouds, everything, the nature, the trees. I didn't understand, life is so beautiful, nature is so beautiful. I was just regretting I missed it 27 years of my life. So later, once I came back from that trek, from the Nilgiris trek, my entire perspective towards life changed 180 degrees. I trekked to the mountains like a different person, and I came back as a whole lot different person. My way of looking at life changed, my philosophy towards life changed, everything, the kind of lifestyle I lead, everything changed. I went for a minimalistic lifestyle. I'll tell you, trekking is such a beautiful thing that it actually makes your life very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll tell you why. Otherwise, in the current world, we always run after money, status, fame, prestige, riches, whatnot. We are
Right.
always, after something. There is a rat race which is always going on. You have to better your neighbor, you have to better your colleague, you have to better
Right.
your
Right.
batchmate, something like this. But once you go for a trek, you live on 2 pairs of clothes for a
Mm-hmm.
week. You don't have an opportunity to shower.
Correct.
Forget about a
Mm.
high, a luxury lifestyle. You don't have an opportunity to even take shower.
Correct.
So things like this, you eat Maggie, you eat eggs, you eat noodles, and you just survive on water which you collect from the natural river sources.
Right.
So
Mm.
all these things, made me realize that actually made me introspect that life is all about, living it peacefully and happily. It's not about running after a few things. So
Correct.
once I came, started trekking and came back from that particular Nilgiris trek, I completely changed in the sense I told you, my life became very simple. Now
Okay.
I get
Mm.
1 lakh rupees of salary every month, and I find it a lot of money because
Okay.
here in Meghalaya, if I go out on a weekend, I probably will spend 1,500 to 2,000. So 4 weekends, 8 to 10,000, and if my house rent and everything else goes away, I still am left with 50, 60,000 rupees, which seem a lot of money to me. And I really don't understand, some people in our current generation, they're always after money, money, they're never content, never satisfied. And some people are lonely. They say depression is the thing which is going on right now. We're seeing in
Right.
news every day. People
Right.
with status, fame, riches, everything, they are going into depression. So I
Right.
advise, these people should go to mountains. People should travel
Mm.
solo. Wonderful
Mm-hmm.
things happen while traveling.
Mm.
So yeah, that way, trekking really changed my life.
Your approach has become very different from what it was before to a minimalist, and it keeps you grounded basically.
I think we all should be grounded. I mean, there is
Right. Right.
nothing great to be grounded in the first case.
Mm.
I personally feel I have achieved nothing to be, arrogant and, to be on the top of everyone and things like that. It's my life. I just live it in my own way, peacefully and happily. Life is very simple and beautiful. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, very nice. So the current millennials, they always keep complaining about depression, about how they're not having enough. What do you think they should be doing right now, for the current, generation?
Uh, that's what I feel, one should just take some time out of their daily routine, talk to themselves because
Mm-hmm.
they miss talking to a very important person at least once in a day, at least
Mm-hmm.
for 5 to 10 minutes. We talk with our bosses, our colleagues, our friends, everyone, but we don't talk to ourselves. So talk to ourselves for some time, 5, 10 minutes. Then, if somebody is really going through a low time, low phase, talk to near and dear ones, travel solo. That helps a
Mm-hmm.
lot. You'll make new friends. I've had amazing experiences while traveling solo. I'll share them later. But coming to your question, I would say they should hit mountains. They should travel solo. They should start reading, meditating, whatever suits them. There are thousand and one ways to make life look very beautiful. They
Right.
can exercise,
Right.
they can run, they can play badminton. I don't know. There are, I told you, swimming. Life
Yes.
is
Yes.
so vast, diverse, and so beautiful that you can do wonderful things with it. So,
Right.
answering your question directly, I would say they should travel and they should trek. At least
Okay.
maybe they'll find real love in that.
They should start exploring inside and outside both.
Yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
everybody travels a lot outside, but it's very, essential to travel inside. And
Right.
I think that comes with things like meditation and traveling.
Correct. So, apart from traveling, could you tell us who inspired you to be you today? Do you look up to someone when you in a certain situation? Do you look up to someone?
I'll be very honest with you. I generally don't take real life examples. Of course, my parents had a big influence on me. My dad is someone I look up to, but see, he grew up in an entirely different generation. We grew up in an entirely different generation.
Correct.
So I cannot directly correlate many things with my dad. My dad used to do this, I can do that. Things have changed.
Yes.
So I'm a kind of person who don't plan much. I just go with the flow.
Mhm.
I don't
Okay.
plan next year. I don't plan next 6 months. I just plan tomorrow, at the most a week.
Mhm.
When I travel, I just plan the itinerary. I don't travel the next trip. I'll
Okay.
enjoy this trip
That's nice.
first. I'll live with this trip. So
Yeah,
for
live in the
me,
moment.
yeah, I live in the moment. I don't plan much because I think that kills the fun. That kills the fun and the surprise element. I think life is beautiful that way. You should go with the flow. You should just, again, stick to basics and keep it simple. So, answering your question, I don't look up to anyone particularly. I just go with the situation and the flow.
Okay, that's a nice approach.
Yeah.
So tell me about one place which you would like to go again and again, repeatedly. Do you have some place which you want to go again?
Yeah, there are many places. This is a very hard question for me to answer.
Okay. You can name
So,
two then, two or three maybe. We would love to
yeah,
hear it.
I'm thinking, yeah, I immediately get this Chadar trek in my mind.
Okay.
Chadar is a kind of experience. I think every one of people here, mainly who have come online and watching us, are, I hope they're into outdoor activities, adventures, and all these things. They actually like to travel. For at least all of this lot, I would advise one should do this Chadar trek at least once in lifetime, because it's a
Okay.
completely different experience, out of the world experience. I can say I have never seen such a kind of terrain. Imagine walking on a frozen river for a week.
Hmm.
Beneath your feet, water will be still flowing, but you'll be walking on a river which is frozen. That's one thing. Second thing is Goichala trek in Sikkim.
Hmm.
I've told this in one of my previous live sessions, but I would just briefly reiterate it. Goichala trek, we were so fortunate that time we were able to go till viewpoint 3. Nowadays, people
Okay.
are being
Hmm.
turned away from viewpoint 1. I did it
Correct.
in
Yes.
October 2016. We went till viewpoint 3. I still remember the date, October 15th. I was so fortunate. I am so thankful for life because on that day, the kind of views I've got, from especially viewpoint 2, I was
Hmm.
sitting there alone
Hmm.
for almost 45 minutes, and it felt like some current passed through my body because everything seemed so magical. Kanchenjunga was like, a touch away. It was so close. There was this Gochala Lake, there was Mount Pandem this side, and tears rolled out of my eyes without my notice. I mean, I started crying like a small baby for nothing. I cried for 15 minutes
My God.
because
Hmm.
it was like, I don't know. I have never tried drugs, but probably it was like a drug injected into my body. You know, I don't know, something happened to
Like a
me. So,
magical moment maybe.
yeah, so that kind of experience, I would like to, go for it again and again, because you cannot buy that with money, you cannot buy that with your position, you cannot buy that with anything in life. You have to be in that place at that particular point of time. So
Correct.
that's one more. And Kashmir Great Lakes trek I've done. That's
Okay.
also very beautiful. Those meadows, it's treeless meadows with, beautiful small flowers and lakes
Hmm.
and alpine mountains. Oh my
The
God,
views.
Kashmir,
Yeah.
Kashmir is heaven on earth. So
Very
yeah,
nice.
if I go on telling you, this live session would not end. So I
Yes.
would just limit it to these three as of now.
Okay, that's very nice to hear. So tell us
Yeah.
one thing. Do you like to go solo or do you like to travel with your friends or family? How is it like?
Uh, Solo, I used to do. I got married, so the solo component reduced a little bit. I still go, but
Mm-hmm.
before marriage, I used to go for a lot of solo trips. Then trekking with friends, with again trekking solo, and
Mm-hmm.
family. We generally go out to a more family kind of a place with my mom, dad,
Yeah,
because they can't trek and all,
correct.
taking the age into consideration. So it depends, but once in a while, I would also like to entertain my mom and dad. I would like to take them out.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seriously failing at it, I feel at times. It's been a
Mm-hmm.
while I took my parents out. I
Mm-hmm.
sometimes feel I'm being so selfish. I'm just traveling myself and I'm not taking them to some of the beautiful places. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing I would like to improvise upon. And after this lockdown, I'll definitely take my I don't think my mom will be interested, but my dad, I'll take him to Himalayas. He likes to meditate. So I'll take him to a good place where we can, father, son, we can open up more, spend more time, and he'll
Mm-hmm.
also get a lot of relaxation out of it.
Very nice. Maybe after quarantine, all things will start working out.
Which one?
After lockdown, all things will start working out, I guess.
Yeah, and hopefully, by November, people are saying that we're going to get a vaccine. I don't know how true it is, but if
Mm-hmm.
vaccine is invented, hopefully by March, April, if mass delivery of vaccines is done and if we get a vaccine in our hand, I think at least next year, hopefully we should be able to live life normally.
Yeah, things will supposedly get normal.
Yeah.
So when we were seeing your Instagram feed, we were so amazed by the pictures and a lot of water and mountains. Are you a mountain person or a beach person? Mostly,
Mountain, without any doubt,
without
200%.
any
My
doubt,
heart
yes.
stays in mountains.
Yes.
My heart stays in mountains. I just go high looking at mountains. The scale of magnitude, they just belittle me. I feel like a speck, not even a speck, a microscope of a speck in this universe when I
Mm-hmm.
look at mountains. And the sheer magnitude of it, it really gives me high. Uh,
Right.
Again, saying this, I'm not against beaches. I love beaches. I've recently traveled to Indonesia also last year in August. It was a
Mm-hmm.
15-day beach trip entirely. So I like beaches, but mountains are my first love.
Very nice. Also, if you're traveling in the mountains, it's very risky. When you see there's different altitude, there's pressure, and there's a lot of things which are coming out as changes in atmosphere. How did you handle all the troubles and hardships which are coming when you were hiking or trekking your mountains?
Yeah, it sometimes get difficult, but the only thing is you need to carry a lot of water, keep yourself hydrated,
Mm-hmm.
and breathe properly. And whenever you feel kind of dizziness or whenever you feel you're tired, you should rest appropriately in
Mm-hmm.
between the trek.
Okay.
And there is a thin line of difference between adventure and foolishness. So we should be able to differentiate when to put a stop to things. We shouldn't go beyond that point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that will only come with experience.
Okay. Yeah.
So as long as we are cautious about where to put a stop to our adventures, I think we'll be safe in mountains because we should respect mountains, water bodies, waterfalls because only if we respect them, they respect us back. If we try
Correct.
to play with them, then we don't stand a chance.
That's right.
Yeah.
Considering the magnitude of everything.
Yeah. The nature does oof and we are gone. We are nobody.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's true. So you're working right now and managing travel. How are you able to strike a balance between your work life and your passion?
This is one question everyone asks me. Even my colleagues from IRS also keep asking me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I call everyone at academy as Mama. There's a Telugu word, no? It's very
Yes,
frequently
yes.
used. Hey, Mama, how are you? And they also kind of, including, my friends, everyone, girls, guys, everyone, they call me Mama at academy. So they keep on, asking me, Mama, how do you manage your holidays? How are you traveling so much and all that? So tell one thing very honestly, it's no rocket science or it's no big secret. I'll tell you, every year we have certain set of leaves. So
Mm-hmm.
weekends are holidays for us, and we have gazetted
Mm-hmm.
or closed holidays like Independence Day, Republic Day, and so I
Right.
combine it with my earned leaves. We have 30 earned
Mm-hmm.
leaves per year. So if you, for
Okay.
example, there is a Wednesday, which is a Republic Day, for instance. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 ELs I apply. Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. So with 4 ELs, I get 9 days of leave,
Great.
which is good enough for any trek.
Correct.
And generally, what people do is, see, it's all about priorities again. For
Yeah.
me, traveling, trekking is a topmost priority. I do that. Some people go to their hometown, some people attend weddings, some people attend functions. They do different things. Everybody has their own priorities. Some people just relax, sit at home, go to a mall, watch a movie, eat popcorn and sleep.
Correct.
So, so it's my priority is to, if I find even half day of a time, I'll try to explore something in the nature.
Right.
So definitely with the kind of leave policy we have, I don't think it should be difficult for me to explore.
That's nice. You're managing with using all your leaves right now. That's good.
Yeah. We work when we have to work, and we have 30 ELs, so that's quite a number I
Okay.
feel. And I told you with 4 ELs I was getting 9 days, if you remember that math.
Yes, yes.
So in a year, if you take at least 4 or 5 times like that, 16, 20 ELs, you're done with 4 or 5 treks, done. What else do
Yeah,
you want?
that's right. Well planned trek.
Yeah.
Very nice. So right now you're in Shillong, and it's not completely in a risky zone now. Are you traveling now, or are you trekking now in around Shillong?
Well, as of now, it's been quite tricky after COVID. All the local villages, most of the treks have to go through villages, and
Mm-hmm.
most of the villages are locked down.
Mm-hmm.
So as of now, we're not trekking from past 2, 3 months. I'm just going outdoors for running and maybe a long drive kind of a thing. But trekking scene is not happening. But hopefully, in the coming future, hope the trekking opens up here.
Mm-hmm. Nice, nice. Because here it's completely locked down. We are not even stepping out of our colonies and houses. So it's
Yeah.
almost like a dream. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we are. I mean, we're not going through conventional treks, but I should tell you, there are certain places which are open to everyone, where
Mm-hmm.
it's not like social distancing is maintained out of the city. Those things
Mm-hmm.
can be done, like a normal waterfall, which can be approached through 15 minutes walk or something like that.
Okay.
But what I do, which is like conventional trekking, where you go for an entire day, you go through a
Mm.
village, that kind of things are not open now. Even I'm
Okay.
waiting for
Yeah.
them to be open.
Okay. So new ways of doing things in desperate times then.
Which one?
New ways of doing things in desperate times now.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it? Also, when you're traveling to different places, you must be meeting a lot of different people from different cultures and different backgrounds. What have you experienced meeting people?
I'll tell you a very interesting story which happened right here in Meghalaya.
Mm-hmm.
When I came here for the second time, February 2016, I went to that Rainbow Falls. You might be knowing it.
Yes, yes.
Double-decker bridge. That time, Rainbow Falls
Right.
was not even popular.
Yeah.
People only used to go till double-decker and go back.
Okay, yeah.
So we stayed there in homestay overnight, and in the morning, I trekked to Rainbow Falls, and I and my friend were only two guys till
Mm-hmm.
8:30. We went at 6 until 8:30. We had the entire Rainbow Falls for ourselves. Imagine, February 2016, blue water, amazing. So, there at 8:30, a Turkish couple came. A guy and a girl from Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So after spending some time there, after swimming and all, we just sat and then we were just chilling out. I just spoke to them. I asked them where you're from. They told me. Then they told me a very interesting thing that they were traveling from the last 3.5 years,
Mm-hmm.
entire world with their savings, which they earned before that. So from Turkey, they started traveling towards eastern side like Germany, Spain, France. From there to US to New Zealand, they cycle the entire. They're traveling the whole world on a cycle. They cycle
Wow.
the entire Great Barrier Reef of Australian East Coast. From there
Mm-hmm.
to Indonesia to Thailand, Vietnam, like that. From Burma to Manipur to Meghalaya. That's where I met them.
My God.
So I
Mm-hmm.
asked them when they are going to go back to Turkey. They said probably after 1 or 1.5 year through India, through Central Asia, Kazakhstan. Again, that's their
Mm-hmm.
plan. So it's like a
Wow.
complete world trip.
Correct.
So when I met them, I felt like I'm a mosquito, in the bigger scheme of things. People are so crazy. People are so interesting, actually, I can say.
Mm-hmm.
We think, we travel a lot, we trek, we do this, that. But when we compare with people like this, when I compare, I felt so humbled and belittled. The kind of experiences they must have had, full-time traveling, it's amazing. And I'll tell you, I was so admired by them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're cyclists, I told you. They had a,
Right.
community called warmshowers.com something where they interact with other cyclists and they
Mm-hmm.
travel the world. So they told me that, so I told them, I'm really impressed by what you're doing. Then they told me, wait, wait, wait. We are impressed with one guy whom we have interacted with. So I was more curious. I asked them, who's this guy? They told me that when they were crossing some France and Spain border, they met an old man, 80-year-old guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was traveling on a donkey with his luggage from
My
country to
God.
country,
Okay.
just on a
Donkey.
donkey.
God.
So these
Mm-hmm.
guys asked him, why are you doing this? He said, I have done everything in my life. Now I just want to travel and just want to see places. And I think I'll die in while traveling on the road like this. And I have no regrets. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
exploring. Look at the spirit of that old man, 80 years, put his luggage on a donkey and traveling. So, world is, full of lot of interesting people. You just have
Right.
to have the heart to explore.
Right. Right. You'll meet a lot of people with different ideas and ideologies, and they
Yeah,
kind of.
exactly. Especially when you're traveling solo, when you're traveling to different places,
Mm-hmm.
you get to meet these kind of people, and then your whole horizon opens up.
Mm-hmm.
You feel that world is really beautiful and wide. A lot of experiences are there out in the world.
Correct. When you're traveling solo, what are the few things you think you should be careful about? And what are the few precautions you should take when you're traveling solo?
When we are traveling solo, I think most importantly, we just need to be wary about our surroundings all time.
Mm,
Just need to be sure that no one is, kind of robbing us or after us, things like
mm,
that.
mm,
And I think, when we're traveling in solo, apart from being robbed or being hit by someone, there is no other worry. Actually, it is more carefree, I'll tell you.
mm,
Because you go to a place,
mm,
if you like that place, you can spend 1 or 2 days more when you're traveling solo. But when you go in a group, you have to stick to a group plan. You want to stay back, but your friend says, no, 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 we'll go to some other place. Or it may be the opposite.
mm.
So, but when you're traveling solo, you have all the luxury, all the time. You can get up whatever time you want. You can just be on your own, do on your own. You
Right.
interact with new people. You meet interesting people. Like I told you, I met this
Mm,
Turkish couple. So, apart from just being wary of being robbed and hit, otherwise there's no other worry I feel while traveling solo.
mm. Very nice. Because all of us are, people are getting worried. Even our followers are asking, is it safe for us to travel solo? And what are the medicines? And how is it okay to travel solo? A lot of people have been asking in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely. Just give me 1 second.
Sure. Yes, I got it.
Hello. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Can you just repeat the question again? What are the precautions you said, right?
Yeah, people are asking if it is safe to travel solo, if it is okay to travel, and what are the things you need to carry, especially when you're traveling solo.
Um, See, I don't differentiate much. I think whatever you carry while you're traveling in a group, those are the same things you would be needing. And caution in the sense, the only thing you should just know whom to trust and whom not to trust. Trust your
Mm-hmm.
instincts
Mm-hmm.
in things like these. Other
Mm-hmm.
than that, as I told you, solo travel is more carefree. You can just
Correct. You
relax.
have the flexibility.
Yeah, yeah. You
Hmm.
actually you shouldn't think too much about these things. You just should go out there, maybe, live life in a kind of small adventure. That's when the real fun is.
Correct. That's right. Go with the
Yeah.
flow and start exploring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So tell us about something which inspired you a lot from all your journey till here. Some incident or some people who inspired you to start up traveling.
I told you travel just happened, by chance to me during my training, and after that, I never looked back.
Mm-hmm.
Inspiration in the sense, there is no particular person who inspired me, but the nature itself inspires me. The mountains inspire me. The whole scenery, the beaches, everything in nature. Just the thought of just seeing everything green in front of you, your eyes, that inspires me. So the rivers, the water bodies, everything. So I do not take inspiration from a particular person, and so far it's been a wonderful journey. I really started traveling a lot from 2014
Mm-hmm.
after I got into IRS. I'll tell you a very interesting fact. We have 20 months of training, out of which I think probably 10 or 11 months we spent out of the academy, traveling the entire
Okay.
India. So as
Okay.
a part of training itself, we made to travel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a beautiful journey. I told you after that Nilgiris trek, uh,
Yeah.
I really changed, and I think I've done some 70 to 80 small 1 day, 2 day hikes and some
Mm-hmm.
10 to 15 big Himalayan treks.
Okay. So the
Yeah,
Nilgiris training was a turning point, I should say.
absolutely. It was kind of
Mm.
eureka moment for me.
Nice, nice. So if not for the current profession you're in, what would you want to be if you're not an IRS officer today, if given a choice?
Very interesting question. Uh, I would, I think, be a trek leader,
Mm-hmm.
guiding
Very nice.
people in Himalayas. Yeah, if given a
Lovely.
choice, yeah, I would like to become a trek leader.
Wow. Well, that's nice. It would suit you as well, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. But then there are other things where you have to focus on balancing your life. At the
Correct.
moment, I really like my job, and because it also gives me the opportunity to travel. So
Mm.
I'm kind of balancing both things. So far, so good for me now.
So the balance is being met right now.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's nice.
See, I feel sometimes, if you are, again, if because we are brought up in plains, so I have so much of this, inclination towards mountains. But again, if you are cut off with everything, and if you are just allowed to stay for 6 months or 1 year in mountains
Mm.
without being given an opportunity to visit plains, then you never know how things might turn up for you. I hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say.
Yes, yes.
Too much
Things,
of anything it will
yeah,
become
it kind of
monotonous.
becomes a monotonous thing. Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
so you have to experience plains to appreciate mountains, and you
Yes.
have to experience mountains to appreciate plains.
Right.
So it has to be a balance.
Right, right. Correct.
Yeah.
Because if you are in the mountains for a continuous period of time, then you might start liking the other things down.
Yeah, absolutely, because the grass is always greener on the other side for human beings.
Correct.
We're always curious what is on the other side.
Yes, yes.
So, yeah, kind of balancing it, I would say, is more better. And I think generally also in life,
Mm.
it's all about balancing things,
Mm.
be it be, food habits, lifestyle, exercise.
Yes,
Nothing of too much would suit human being.
that's right. Balancing
Yeah.
and not overdoing anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When you
Right.
overdo something, you just kill the joy of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is your regular routine or a ritual? What do you do as exercise to keep yourself fit?
I run every day. I run for at least 4 to 5 kilometers every day in the morning. And
Mm-hmm.
here in Shillong, I go to golf course. There's a beautiful golf course where we run every day in the morning. We have a group also, small group. So apart
Mm-hmm.
from running, I really do not do anything, and that actually helps me a lot while trekking,
Mm.
because running and trekking are like hand in glove. They go
Correct. It builds
together
up
very
your
well.
right.
Yeah, that's the only thing I do. And
That's nice.
sometimes when given an opportunity, I run in half marathons. Back in
Mm-hmm.
Hyderabad, I used to run in half marathons and all, 21 kilometers and all. But here, there are
Mm-hmm.
no many events in Meghalaya. There's only
Mm-hmm.
one
Yeah.
event in July, which is called Sora Marathon, which will also be most probably cancelled this year.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
So, particularly focusing on running as a form of cardiovascular exercise.
Yeah. And I'll tell
Hmm.
you what, it really definitely helps you a lot.
Hmm.
Running is a beautiful form of exercising, I feel, because it's investment free, pocket friendly. You do
Correct.
not need anything but a good pair of shoes to run. And these
Right.
days, people are running barefoot also. Looking at people like
Right.
Milind Soman and all,
Within someone,
many people are
exactly.
doing barefoot running. So
Hmm.
if you take out shoes also out of equation, it's absolutely free.
Hmm.
You just go out on the road and run, and you keep yourself fit.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. So about Meghalaya particularly, how many days would you need and what are the places you can explore? People are asking in our comments again.
Okay, Meghalaya, oh my God, there are a lot of places. I think you should at least spend good 15 days here because
Mm-hmm.
I know that many of us do not get so much of free time.
Correct. Yeah.
Managing 1 week itself would be difficult, but if given a chance, 15 days would give you a very good insights into Meghalaya. It would allow you to travel to unexplored places, offbeat places,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot here in Meghalaya than what actually our people from Hyderabad do. People
Mm-hmm.
from Hyderabad come here, they go to double decker, they go to Molinong, they go to Dauki. That's a
Mm-hmm.
routine thing, and they go back. I
Yeah.
sometimes, because I've traveled a lot in Meghalaya, now looking at that itinerary, I kind of laugh because there are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of places in Meghalaya which are relatively unexplored and very beautiful, very beautiful.
Okay. Underrated places maybe. You could give us a list of the
Underrated
places. Mm-hmm.
because I like going to such places. I generally do not go to crowded places
Correct.
because
Mm-hmm.
after all the effort, you take your time out, you take your day off, you go to a place, go to a beautiful waterfall, you see 50, 60 people, and then you see Kurkure packets, Pepsi bottles. I get pissed off, seriously. People pollute it, people just damage the whole natural scene of it.
Right.
So that's why I trek and go to difficult places where normal people cannot come. People without fitness, people who
Mm-hmm.
do not have real love for nature won't come.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Generally trekkers they don't pollute the atmosphere.
Right.
They don't throw that plastic. They just keep it in their pocket, in their bag. They throw it when they
Yeah.
come back home. So I
Right.
kind of, even if it's difficult, I go to these places because I find no one there.
Right.
The entire waterfall
Untouched.
belongs to me. I feel like a
Yeah.
lord of a kingdom, So
Mm-hmm.
I just swim, I just, spend time, meditate for 2, 3 hours. And,
Great.
that
Mm-hmm.
kind of feeling is, different. I cannot put it in words.
Yeah. So you prefer going to these untouched places where nature's still instilling its beauty.
Absolutely, absolutely. I told you when I see those Kurkure packets and Pepsi bottles, I
You
get
get
pissed
a,
off. So,
yeah, true that. I mean, the whole beauty of the place gets spoiled.
yeah, absolutely.
Right. So I think we have a small rapid fire for you now. Before,
Sure.
yeah, we can quickly go ahead with the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the languages you wish you speak? You could
I
speak.
wish I speak or I speak.
You could speak. Wish you could speak. You don't know them.
Kashi. Kashi for sure because I'm in Meghalaya right now.
Okay.
Uh, Kashi and Hindi more fluently
Mm-hmm.
and Punjabi.
Punjabi. Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Best food you ever ate during traveling?
Again, there is a restaurant called Dijavu here in Meghalaya.
Okay.
There is mixed chopsy. Kind of,
Mm-hmm.
you get prawns, chicken, egg, everything. You know chopsy, right?
Yes, yes.
American. It's not American chopsy. It's a mixed chopsy.
Mixed options. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like soupy, and it's very tasty.
Very
That
nice.
one, and yes, Hyderabadi biryani. So it's anyway,
Absolutely.
it's all-time favorite for everyone living in Hyderabad, I think.
Yeah, even out around the world, I guess.
Yeah, around the world, and yeah, mom's food. Like my mom makes
Okay.
very tasty dal,
Mm-hmm.
chicken. Yeah, whatever she makes, I just like eating her food.
Nice. Also, what is the weirdest food you have ever eaten in traveling and trekking? Weird.
I remember while going to Tawang, we had a stop over at Jorhat,
Hmm.
Jorhat, I think. Jorhat or
Okay.
Tejpur. I'm not able. I think Tejpur. So I know there because our cultures and our food habits are entirely different. We had to eat a thali, and I really did not understand how to eat it because we were hungry, but I was not able to eat that food
Hmm.
because it was cooked in a completely different style, and the whole vegetables, the curries, everything, we couldn't take it.
Hmm.
Otherwise, more weirdest. I think there are some vegetarians in this live session. I would not like to talk about some things where I went to Arunachal, and I was made to taste them. I just tasted them, but yeah, that's I think some of the weirdest things I've ever ate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sunrises or sunset?
Which one?
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise or sunset? Sunset.
Sunset. Okay.
Yeah.
Summer, winter, rainy.
Winter for sure.
Winter. Okay. Hmm. What do you think is one of the most underrated place to visit?
In India,
Yeah.
most underrated. Uttarakhand, there are
Hmm.
so many beautiful places, but generally we go to Himachal Pradesh for trekking and all. Uttarakhand is relatively, the tourism is still in
Hmm.
a nascent stage there. It's not in the public domain. It's not so popular like Himachal.
Mm-hmm.
There are beautiful places. I'll tell you one such place. There is a trek called Mad Maheshwar. It's
Okay.
just a 3-day trek. It's
Hmm.
near that Chopta Tungnad only, other
Hmm.
side. You have to
Mm-hmm.
start from a village called Rasi.
Okay.
It's one of they call Panch Kedar, no? 5 Kedars. It's one of
Yes,
the
yes,
Kedar.
right. Okay.
Mad
Hmm.
Maheshwar. So beautiful, but very underrated. Many of them don't know about it.
Hmm.
Uh, Again, thinking of Uttarakhand, more unexplored places would be, I think rest of it, Valley of Flowers and all, many people do, but yeah, Mad Maheshwar for sure. Chopta Tungnad also, I'm not sure if many people do it. Deorital and all
Right.
those places.
Correct.
Yeah, and definitely it's very beautiful. Kedarkanta trek, though it's popular, it's very nice. I like it. Harkidun, it's
Hmm.
very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So there is one more place called Nelong Valley near
Hmm.
Gangotri. I haven't been
Correct.
there.
Hmm.
I was
Hmm.
almost about to go, but the trip got cancelled. So I
Mm-hmm.
would like to go there also. So Nelong Valley is almost near Tibet.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of places like that in Uttarakhand where there is this Kedar Tal trek also near
Yes.
Gangotri.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, Uttarakhand I feel is more underrated and more not so very famous in India.
Hmm. So places in Uttarakhand. Nice.
Which one?
Places in Uttarakhand need to be more explored,
Yeah,
which are
yeah,
not
and I'm
commercially.
definitely looking forward to explore more in Uttarakhand myself.
Okay. Nice. So one travel essential in your bag, travel bag,
What about
water bottle. Okay. And one essential medicine in your bag. Do you carry medicines with you when you're traveling?
not many. I just carry paracetamol and Diamox sometimes.
Okay. Hmm.
Diamox for that if you are just feeling dizzy or something, you can
Right.
just take a Diamox. Otherwise, I don't carry many. So I would say
Hmm.
more than Diamox, a paracetamol.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if given a chance for you to settle anywhere in the world, where would you settle? Apart from Meghalaya, Shillong?
Um, Again, a very tricky question. Settle in the sense is like living forever. I would
Yeah.
definitely love to live in India only. Other
Okay.
countries, I would just like to go and come back. Because I've been in New Zealand already. I've done my MBA. If I wanted, I
Yes.
could have settled there happily.
Mm-hmm.
I like India. I like because, geographically also it's so diverse. You have everything in India.
Right.
A
Correct.
person who travels India is almost equivalent to a person who travel the world
Right.
because you have forests, evergreen forests to beaches to snow-clad mountains to cold desert, hot desert,
Right.
everything. So coming to your question, one place where I'd like to settle is Kashmir.
Kashmir. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. The train, flights, or road trip? Which is your most preferred means of transport?
Flight, road trip, or what?
Trains.
Flight, road trip, or train? Flight because it just takes you from one destination to other very quickly. I'm not a big fan of the journey,
Mm-hmm.
like a train
Okay.
journey, car journey. I'm not a very big fan of those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the most overrated place according to you, personally?
Mm, overrated place. Agra Taj Mahal.
Which?
Yeah, because the other day I was just Googling the best places to visit in India. Taj Mahal is the number one, it seems. And lot of these Firangi guys, these travelers, from abroad and all foreigners, they come and they just go to Taj Mahal. I mean, it's such a beautiful structure, no offense, but
Right.
there are many more beautiful places in India.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of places.
Yeah, yeah. I
Some
mean,
parts
India
of
is more
India, I guess.
than Taj Mahal.
Yeah, definitely. India is much more than Taj Mahal and places in Rajasthan.
Yeah, yeah. Even in Delhi, like these people go to Red Fort and all that. I
Mm.
mean, okay, for first timers, maybe it's okay, but I find them a little overrated. Even, yeah, as you said, some of the palaces in Rajasthan are very overrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and places like many places in Uttar Pradesh are also very overrated.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, travel partners, who do you prefer? Do you prefer a partner or do you like to go solo?
Depends on where I'm going. If I'm going on a trek, I don't really care because I make friends after I go to the trek.
Right.
I've done so many treks like that where I used to go alone and I used to make friends there. There are few friends who have become friends for life, like, brothers from another mother kind of friends.
Right.
We really got along well, very each other very well
Uh-huh.
because it gives you all the time in the world, no mobiles, no work, no connection. So
Correct.
it's only one-to-one connection. You talk everything. So in
Yes,
one
yes.
week's time, you tell him about your whole life.
Right.
He'll know the deepest of your secrets,
Correct. You
which
make a lot
cannot
of.
happen in the plains because here
Mm-hmm.
there are too many distractions, I feel.
Hmm.
So the other day I was just studying something and it says that the human brain's concentration or the exact word for this is yeah, concentration you can say is now I think 10 to 12 seconds.
Yes. Attention span. It is, I
Attention
think.
span, yeah,
Yes.
attention span is 10 to 12 seconds,
Hmm.
which is actually equivalent to some starfish or something they were writing.
Correct.
So that really amazed me. So we humans have actually literally screwed up ourselves, and it's time to, focus more on, one-to-one relations, more talk to parents every day, talk to one another every day, than, just hanging in our phone all day, just
Right.
unnecessarily wasting time online. So coming back to
Correct.
your question, solo or this thing, friends is entirely depends on where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
But I like traveling with my wife to certain places. We traveled a lot. I've been
Nice.
married
Nice.
for almost 3 years now. I
Nice.
think we've traveled around 20 times. I think, yeah, 20 times now. I
Wow.
was just
Nice.
counting the other day, 20 or 21.
Okay. Lovely. Lovely.
So I like her company. I mean, we really spend a lot of time together, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I really like her company.
Great. Lovely.
Yeah.
Very nice. So yeah, to conclude, just tell us one message you want to give to all the audience and all the followers here.
Um, well, I would say, we're all going through a very tough time right now with this COVID and all this, but everything will pass. There were was incidents which happened in the history, but only one thing we can think of is this will pass. So uh, just be hopeful, be happy, live your life as usual, and this I think is a blessing in disguise because you're spending more time with your family members now, and just also be very cautious because in Hyderabad the COVID scene is not very good. So I
Mm-hmm.
advise all of you to stay safe and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, yeah, I would also like to tell about Hyderabad Trekking Club. I mean, first of all, a big thanks to giving me this opportunity. And I've done a few Western Ghat treks from Hyderabad Trekking Club. I've also done Kedarkanta trek from HTC. It's a very nice organization, very reasonable, very professional, and yeah, I also wish them all the best in coming future endeavors. Yeah, other than that, yes, life is very simple and beautiful. Just keep it that way. Always be happy, smiling, and cheerful.
Okay. Thank you so much. So we have
Thank
one
you
more
so much.
question. Followers are
Yeah.
asking us, so what is the major cultural difference you have observed between Hyderabad and Meghalaya?
Uh, Meghalaya is a very welcoming state, I can tell you. There have been some differences in the past for non-tribals and tribals,
Mm-hmm.
but generally for people who travel, they're very welcoming, they're very warm. They do not trouble you. They do not try to, make bully you or get you into trouble just like that. It's a cultural difference in the sense there are a lot of cultural differences. I can say the food habits, the clothing, the everything is different. The festivals, the language, everything is different. But
Right.
that's the beauty of life, right? We have to
Right.
experience these things. Now, as I told you, I feel like learning Khasi now, just
Mm-hmm.
to get into the groove a little bit more. I have so many Kasi friends now, so
Nice.
I would say it's a very safe place. It's a very nice place. Maybe you all should visit Meghalaya sometime because it's an absolute bliss in the monsoons. I'll tell you, the clouds, the water, the waterfall, the amount of fresh water here amazes me. Wherever you
Nice.
go, there is a waterfall. So the
Wow.
other day we were driving to Sora. Chirapunji is
Mm-hmm.
just like my everyday bread and butter. I
Mm.
in 1.5 hours I will reach Chirapunji. So I can actually go to Chirapunji every day, run there and come back and go to office. It's that near
Wow.
to me.
Mm.
So the other day when I was going to Chirapunji from Shillong, we were just looking at the roadside. Every 50 meters I find a waterfall. Wherever there is a hill, there is
Mm.
water flowing and so fresh, so it's a milky white kind of waterfalls. And not
Lovely.
that they're, those lean water, they're huge,
Okay.
they're well built waterfalls, they're nice
Mm.
actually,
Lovely.
voluminous ones. So, the kind of rainfall this place gets really amazes me, and the sheer beauty of this place is mind blowing.
Very nice.
So, yeah, yeah. Well, for people who haven't visited this place, you should definitely try it out.
Yes, we will for fresh mineral water and for the description you have given us. We are all wanting to go and travel right now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Hopefully once this lockdown is done,
Hmm.
the world is ours again.
Right, right, correct.
Yeah,
We're all waiting.
yeah.
Thank you so much for accepting us to do this live session with you. A lot of them actually want to do another live session with you.
Okay, okay, sure. We'll
Yes,
do it in the future sometime, anytime, no
yes,
problem. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, Harshini, and also the HTC entire team.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And it was great knowing you. It really inspires me a lot when I'm seeing you and the way you're looking at life. It's really nice. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you.
Uh,
Bye
Take
bye.
care.
Yeah, bye.